Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Yes, I know we took a quick break, but we had to handle a little bit of business. Hefe is listening and watching. Good morning, everybody. 8 to 10, you can see us every Saturday morning, hear us every Saturday morning. You can watch us on your YouTube later on in the week, or you can actually plug into some of our previous shows already today, right now on our YouTube channel. That, yes, 8 to 10 every Saturday. We love to connect with those in the community. Today, we have special talent, and I mean, just worldly guy, Mr. Ian Ramirez. Now, I am totally gushing over this guy because he, of course, he's homegrown, right? But he has been just all over the world. And I am always in awe of people with these talents, you know, being able to sing, the artists with drawing, any paintings. I mean, photography. I love that kind of talent. So, and, you know, of course, musical artists, anything like that, things that I cannot do, you know? And so when we learned about Ian, of course, you know, by day, listen, he's kind of like us, by day, he's at Madeira Estates, and usually some nights too, because he is always hustling. I know, in fact, we have a few minutes before he said, I got to get out of here because I got somewhere to be. But I mean, he does that, you know, on one of his main roles. But then opera singer galore. He has been traveled the world, and now he's come back to, you know, bring the talent here and really help to inspire a lot of our next generation and give back, you know. So he's instructing at Oak Ridge High School, but he's also into, you know, exploring and really expanding into some of the private lessons. So we'll keep y'all plugged in when we find out more for that, so you can take up on it. But real quick, I know you've been schooling us, and we are so thankful. What did you think about, because I know you, because of the musical background too, you're familiar with the musicals.
Oh, yeah, I love Broadway.
Yeah, so would any of those have been on your top three? What are some of your top three musicals?
Wicked is amazing. I saw it on Broadway about 2 years ago, one of my favorite musicals, But what I was going to say is I grew up in high school when Wicked first came out. That was all the rage.
Yes.
Everybody was screaming Wicked and Popular and all of those famous tunes.
Yes.
Idina Menzel, Kristen Chenoweth are some of my favorite Broadway stars.
Oh, yeah.
And fun fact, Kristen Chenoweth actually has an opera background. She
way.
studied opera.
Really?
And did opera for a little bit and then went into Broadway. So I really applaud her because she has a great technique.
Idina Menzel's in Rent.
Yes.
I'm going to have to, I did not know, because she's such a cute little munchkin.
Yep.
I did not know. I wonder, so what's her level? Like, she's not deep. I don't know what the names are.
She's a high, in opera we call it a coloratura soprano, so very high soprano.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
See, he's teaching us all the time.
Fan of the opera, I do love, even though I'm going to fight you on the fact that it's not an opera. I've seen it many times. I've actually seen it 3 times on Broadway. It's one of the shows I've seen the most in New York.
Really?
It's a very, very good show. Let's see. In terms of the movies that I would like to see turned into an opera, I think Pretty Woman would be great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, you don't know Shag. I'm not going to.
I don't know Shag.
That's what.
Unfortunately. I'm trying to think else. What would be epic? You know, I think a la Wagner and the Ring cycle, I think probably Game of Thrones would be like an awesome opera. Like, how dramatic. And you can't do really the war scenes on stage. You might be able to do something pared down or throw some new video footage up on a screen on the stage. But that would be such a dramatic opera.
Yes, it would.
See how talented he is. I mean, this man, he's only thought about it for a couple minutes, and he can create things in his head. I'm just amazed. I love your talent. So that being said, where do you see, like, real quick, because I know you got to go, Mr. Busy. Where do you see opera going forward? Because you were saying that opera in English is the big thing, which of course I feel like a dodo, because I had no idea. I haven't seen actually an opera in English, you know. But where is that the next big thing, or where do you see it transforming in the next 10 years?
I think opera is really adapting to be more accessible to the general public. So we have a lot of the Met broadcasts being played at the movie theaters, so people can actually go and still see a Met production that's live, but in a local movie theater.
Yeah, you were telling me they did that here, right?
Yeah, they do it in the Woodlands. Usually it's done at the Market Street movie theater in the Woodlands. I think opera and found spaces is really popular now. So uncommon spaces like bars are being used, different spaces that are being turned into stages. Actually, you know, unfortunately, because of Hurricane Harvey, Houston Grand Opera is put out of their whole season at the Wortham. And so they're actually doing all of their performances now this year at the George R. Brown Convention Center.
Wow.
So they're turning one of those spaces into a theater. and they're going to do all the operas there because, you think of what large space do we have in Houston that's big enough to hold a lot of people. Like, I think the Wortham is up to 3,000 seats or something, 2,500. So they had to find a space that could fit that many people. So George R. Brown is going to be the opera space this year.
Wow.
This season. So found spaces, I think, are going to be really interesting to people. Abandoned warehouses I've seen in New York. There's a company, I don't remember what it's called, but they do it in random places. So making it more accessible to people.
No, and I love that. And, going back to the Houston Grand Opera, I find, and, I'm a huge fan of symbolism too. So I love the idea of being able to take, certainly the Grand Opera that was, their facility was taken. So then they take one of the, rescue facilities or shelters and transform that into their new home. I just find that to be a beautiful thing. And frankly, news. I had no idea. So thank you for bringing some news to us. Well, and thank you so much for joining us, Ian. I know you have to go. And we're going to keep our listeners plugged in to make sure they can, stay in contact with you. And of course, when you come to visit again, look, I'm locking you down on air.
She's ready. She's got other ideas turning.
Already, because this man right here is so talented. And of course, like I said, by day, you can find him. Look, you're a superhero. By day, you find him at Madera Estates and pretty much weekends and nights. I mean, this man, I don't think he really sleeps. But then he's also at Oak Ridge High School instructing the students there for vocal lessons. And then he's looking in, expanding. I keep saying looking into, you're doing it, having your voice instructor business right there for a lot of the students. So if you want to get plugged in, reach out to us on our email, gritandgracetexas@gmail.com, and we will connect you with Ian. I know whenever you get everything up and running full steam, because I know right now you're doing it more on the private realm, feel free to let us, because we want to, of course, shower you with love. We think you're so amazing, and we love everything that you're doing for the community, and just, you're top talent in here, and so thrilled that you brought it back to your hometown.
That's
really
right.
Appreciate it. So
thank you.
And then of course keep us in the know about the news, because we need, and school us like we want.
I will.
Oh, he is so good. All right, well, thanks for joining us, Ian.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we can't wait to have you over again. And of course, listeners, stay tuned. We've got more of Grit and Grace with Jennifer and Merideth coming up next.